Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, well, we're jumping into something really intense. Simon Kernick's crime novel, A Good Day to Die.
Mm, it's a real page-turner.
Absolutely. And our mission here is to sort of peel back the layers of this story. We'll look at its surprising origins, the research, the plot twists, the characters.
All of it.
We want to pull out those key insights, really help you see how deep this thing goes.
And what strikes me right away is the authenticity Kernick aims for. He talks about having this extensive list of contacts in the police force.
Right, people in special branch, associate, anti-terrorist branch.
Exactly. Long-serving officers, which immediately makes you wonder, okay, how much of this fiction is actually, grounded in some kind of reality?
It definitely adds a layer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's our main guy, Dennis Milne.
Ah, Dennis, the renegade cop and moonlighting hitman.
That's him. We follow his journey, which kicks off in the Philippines, this sort of exotic but pretty dangerous place.
And ends up back in the gritty depths of London.
It's quite the ride. Get ready.
So, Dennis Milne. He's fled to the Philippines after the events of the first book, The Business of Dying, trying to escape justice.
Yeah, he's out there supposedly in paradise, but it's not exactly peaceful, is it?
Not at all. And it's funny, Kernick actually admitted he just sort of plucked the Philippines out of thin air initially.
Right. He didn't know anything about it.
Nope. No knowledge of the place at all, he said. But then he took a research trip, and wow, that completely changed things. It gave the setting this raw, almost dangerous feel.
You can tell. That research trip sounds like it was something else. A real eye-opener for him.
Definitely. He talks about this chaotic arrival, a bone-jarring taxi ride, missing the ferry.
And then that speedboat trip, with guys in loincloths doubling the price, fearing he'd get robbed or worse out on the open sea.
Yeah, a perilous 3-hour boat ride. That kind of first-hand experience, that fear, it really bleeds into the novel's atmosphere, doesn't it?
Totally. And Mindoro Island itself, it becomes this sort of perfect home from home for Dennis, but it's got this edge.
Huge mountains, army roadblocks, helicopter gunships hunting rebels. It's beautiful but tense.
Exactly. A good place to disappear, maybe, but danger is always lurking.
And that tension feeds right into Dennis's life there. He's trying to run a small hotel, a dive operation.
Living the quiet life.
Trying to. But as the book says, paradise is nice, but it rarely makes you rich. And tourism is down thanks to, well, Al-Qaeda's continued efforts to mangle Western tourism.
So money's tight.
Very tight. And that financial pressure, it's crucial. It's what starts pushing him back towards the life he thought he'd left behind.
Which brings us to Tomboy Dark, his business partner.
Ah, Tomboy. Described as a man with a cliche for every occasion, including murder. Nice guy.
Yeah. And he comes to Dennis with a proposal, a job, a hit.
For $30,000 US. A lot of money, especially when you're struggling.
But Dennis is out of that life, right? He says he didn't kill people anymore.
He does. He says, made that mistake before, and it had almost cost me my life. He tries to justify his past hits in London only. Drug dealers, child molesters, the worst kind of criminals.
But he admits mistakes, too, doesn't he? Shooting people he was told were bad guys but weren't.
Exactly. So there's this internal conflict. He needs the money badly, but he doesn't want to kill. He decides he has to find a way around this.
So the fake hit, it's pretty elaborate. The target is this guy, Slippery Billy West.
Right. Dennis plans to use blood-filled bottles, black paint, to make it look real, take photos as proof.
And then dump the body in some remote ravine on Mindoro, get the money. No one actually dies. Clever, but risky.
Extremely risky. And then comes the twist. The massive coincidence.
Just before Dennis is about to finish him, Billy West confesses something huge.
He confesses he was the one hired to kill Asif Malik, Dennis's old friend and partner back in London.
No way.
Yes, he details the whole thing. Clerkenwell Cafe, 2 bullets in each of them, then headshots just to make sure. Got paid $12,000 initially, then more later.
Wow. So Dennis, in trying to fake a hit to make money,
ends up face-to-face with his friend's actual killer.
Go.
And now he knows who hired West.
Pope. A man named Pope.
Suddenly, it's not about survival anymore. It's about revenge.
So Dennis heads back to London, undercover, alias Mr. Marcus Kane.
But it's not a triumphant return. He calls it an anticlimax.
The city feels different to him now, unfamiliar.
Yeah, like a stranger visiting for the first time. Overcrowded, dark, increasingly foreboding. He even notes the crime rate. How you're twice as likely to get mugged in London than New York these days.
It really sets the mood. He's an outsider now in his own city.
And he's operating completely differently. No badge, no police resources.
But he has advantages, right?
Well, yeah. several key advantages, the book says. He knows who he's looking for, Pope. And crucially, he isn't constrained by the law. He can do things the police can't.
Which he probably needs because trouble finds him almost immediately.
Right away. He meets a man claiming to be Pope calls Dennis Mr. Kane. This guy who Dennis later calls Blondie.
Tries to have him killed. In a cafe. Just like that.
Bam. Straight back into the fire. It shows how dangerous Pope, or whoever Blondie works for, really is.
But Dennis handles himself. He's still got it.
Oh, definitely. He's resourceful. Uses CS gel, finds a baseball bat, even uses a car to take down the attackers. It's brutal, efficient. He's not someone to mess with.
So while he's navigating this, trying to find the real Pope, he needs information.
Which leads him to Emma Neilson.
The reporter. Investigating crime reporter for the North London Echo.
And she's already looking into the Malik and Khan murders, specifically sniffing around the ugly head of police corruption.
So Dennis sees an opportunity.
Exactly. She's the ideal person to start with. Less high profile, maybe less likely to trigger alarm bells in a big national paper.
They form this kind of uneasy alliance. He feeds her information.
And asks her to do some digging for him. Look into Les Pope, trace some phone numbers, using her journalistic access.
It's a risky partnership for both of them, really.
Definitely. Then Dennis follows another lead. Jamie Delly, Jason Kahn's younger brother.
And what he finds there is grim.
Truly horrific. Jamie's being tortured, Tyndall's men. Part of his ear missing, cicatures to his finger. They're trying to get information out of him.
Dennis intervenes.
He does. Rescues Jamie. And learns something crucial. Jason Kahn was thinking about converting to Islam, and he'd gone to Asif Malik for advice.
So that connects Khan and Malik directly, beyond just being found dead together.
Yes, but it also just plunges Dennis deeper into this incredibly violent world. This isn't just about a hit anymore. It's something much darker.
And the darkness keeps spreading. Emma, the reporter, gives Dennis another piece of the puzzle.
About Ann Taylor, Jason Kahn's girlfriend, who died.
What about her?
Emma reveals Ann was in therapy for extensive sexual abuse as a child by her own father, Richard Blacklip.
Oh, wow. Okay. That opens up a whole new, terrible dimension.
It really does. Dennis realizes the murders might be connected to something far older and more sinister.
So he goes to see Anne's psychotherapist, Dr. Madeline Cheney.
And she confirms the worst. The horrific details of the abuse Anne witnessed. 5 men, including her father, abusing another girl, Heidi.
The man in the black mask, using a knife.
It's sickening. Anne heard muffled and desperate screams after being locked away. And Dr. Cheney also confirms Anne's father, Richard Blacklip.
Skipped bail and ended up dead, murdered in Manila.
And who killed Richard Blacklip in Manila?
Dennis. Dennis Milne himself earlier in the story. It's all starting to connect in these really disturbing ways.
Absolutely. And Dennis starts getting suspicious about the official police investigation, too.
Right. He learns that DCI Simon Barron, the cop handling Anne's case, who also contacted Emma,
had also visited Dr. Cheney, and Dennis suspects Barron might be deliberately pointing the finger at Nicholas Tyndall to cover for the real culprits.
An inside link. Police corruption, just like Emma suspected.
It seems increasingly likely, which makes Dennis's off-the-books investigation even more vital and dangerous.
So who is pulling the strings? Who is the real architect behind all this?
It turns out to be Eric Thaddeus, founder and CEO of Thaddeus Holdings, a security company.
Security. Makes sense.
Yes, especially his expertise in commercial bug-sweeping devices and personal tracking devices.
Yeah.
That's how they found Pope in the cinema earlier. It wasn't random.
So Thaddeus is the mastermind. High-tech, corporate evil.
Precisely. Not just a gangster, but someone with resources and influence.
Dennis eventually tracks him down.
Yeah.
To his mansion, the final confrontation.
Yes. And this is where everything just explodes. The truth comes out, and it's shocking.
What happens?
The biggest shock. Emma Neilson, the reporter, Dennis's ally.
What about her?
She's Eric Thaddeus' daughter.
No, serious.
Dead serious. And her motive wasn't justice. It was revenge against her father for abusing her since she was 8. She wanted his company. She even hints he killed her mother.
My God. So she was using Dennis all along.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And then right there, she shoots her own father and his security guard. Cold blood.
Unbelievable betrayal. And then she tries to pin it on Dennis.
Tries to. Shoots him too. But remember that flak jacket Nicholas Tyndall gave him earlier?
It saved him. That's ironic.
Extremely. A sort of accidental protection from an unlikely source.
So, with Thaddeus dead, is that the end of the pedophile ring, the hunters?
Not quite. Emma reveals the full membership. Sadius Les Pope, the supremely ugly individual. Richard Blacklip, Anne's father.
Right.
A guy named Wise who died of cancer.
Right.
And one more, the most shocking one,
Whoa.
Tristram Parnham Jones, the Lord Chief Justice.
The Lord Chief Justice? Are you kidding me?
That's what she says. He's the last surviving member. He was the man in the black mask who brutalized Heidi Robes all those years ago.
That's staggering. Corruption at the highest possible level.
It explains so much, the cover-ups, the deflected investigations, and he becomes Dennis's ultimate target now.
Just when you think the betrayals can't get any worse. There's Tomboy Dark.
Oh, Tomboy, back in the Philippines. Dennis's business partner, his friend.
What about him? Don't tell me he's involved too.
Deeply involved. Remember the murdered girl, Heidi Robes, and how her father was framed?
Yeah.
Tomboy was the low-life client. Les Pope hired 7 years ago to get rid of Heidi's body and plant the evidence against her father. He used his burglary skills.
So Tomboy,
Mm-hmm.
his friend, helped cover up that initial horrific crime, the one that started everything.
Exactly. The book calls it a no such thing as coincidence moment.
Yeah.
It just shatters any remaining trust Dennis might have had. The one person he thought was on his side wasn't.
Man, that leaves Dennis completely alone, doesn't it?
Utterly alone, surrounded by corruption and betrayal.
It really makes you think about Dennis's own actions, his sense of natural justice. He started out killing guys he thought were bad.
Right, but often based on bad information. Now, though, he's targeting people who are undeniably monstrous. Thaddeus Parnham Jones. Does that justify his methods? He's basically a mass murderer in the eyes of the law.
It's incredibly complex. He's operating outside the law, but maybe delivering a form of justice the system couldn't or wouldn't.
And it ties into his identity, too. He's tried to escape being Detective Sergeant Dennis Milne, plastic surgery, new names.
But the past just keeps dragging him back.
It always does. You can never escape the past forever, as the novel suggests. His core drive, that need for some kind of reckoning, it overrides everything else.
And even after all that, after Thaddeus is dead and Parnham Jones is identified, it's still not over.
Nope. One final twist. Emma Neilson, who we now learn is actually Andrea Deveron's daughter, Pat Phelan's stepdaughter, gets kidnapped.
Kidnapped after everything she did.
Yep. Ransom demand. £500,000. It just throws everything back into chaos and uncertainty for Dennis.
So the cycle just continues.
It seems like it. The novel really emphasizes that cyclical nature of violence. Dennis sought justice, exposed horrific truths, but it leads to more danger, more threats. That line about a fall was definitely coming feels very apt.
Wow, what a deep dive that was into A Good Day to Die. We've covered so much: the research, the betrayals, the shocking reveals about the Hunter's Ring, Dennis's own moral journey.
Yeah, the unmasking of criminals right up to the Lord Chief Justice, the shifting identities, the constant presence of the past. It's dense stuff.
It really is.
And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? In a world like the one Kernick paints, where official justice seems broken or corrupt, what does seeking justice actually mean?
Is it about punishment? Or is it more like Dennis's struggle? Maybe an internal quest for some kind of peace that's impossible to find?
And how much are we all shaped by our past? Even choices made with supposedly good intentions. How do they lock us into a certain future? It feels kind of inescapable in the book.
Those are some heavy questions to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope it gave you plenty to think about, exploring those shades of gray between right and wrong.
Stay curious.
Stay informed, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.